I went full ragdoll when my team dragged me around the room. When it was over, they finally cut me free, but I was so dizzy, I didn't know if I was going to puke or pass out. The second volunteer looked just as rough, but the third, she had it the worst. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Youth Group Chronicles. In the studio with me this evening, Mackenzie Smolin. I got it right this time.
Hey.
I totally butchered it last time. And Mindy Spencer, welcome back to the YGC Studios, you two. It is great to have you here for another fun episode of Youth Group Chronicles.
Heck yeah.
Heck
yes.
Yeah. Heck yeah is
Heck
right.
yeah.
If this is your first time listening to Youth Group Chronicles, this is where people send in their crazy, unhinged youth group stories. And my guests get to blind react to them here in the studio. And we will kick this off with a story from Shane. Shane said, I was running a retreat for our middle schoolers when I came down with a 104-degree fever.
Ooh.
I handed the evening off to my volunteers and told them I was going to sleep and would head home in the morning. Before bed, I grabbed some Nyquil, and the bottle said ages 12 and up take 30 milliliters. But at that moment, I thought, I'm at least twice the size of a 12-year-old. So naturally, I doubled the dose.
No.
He said, I've never had alcohol before, but apparently Nyquil can hit you hard.
Yes.
Because later that night, after the group got back to the cabin, I started making mating sounds of zoo animals. Tortoises, lions,
Not
hippos,
a tortoise.
you name it.
A tortoise? What do they even sound like?
He knows exactly what they sound like.
I'm
He
gonna
pulled
need
that
him to send a
animal right
recording.
out.
Send a recording.
Exactly.
And then to top it all off, right before I finally passed out, I started pointing out what was, quote, wrong with each kid's face. Too wide, too narrow, wrong shape,
Boom roasted.
etc.
That's
It
terrible.
was bad.
That's crazy.
That's terrible.
That's crazy.
He just had lean.
That's so lean.
Just concentrated lean.
I was today years old when I found out NyQuil can do that much damage. I had no idea. I don't take it, but I did not know it was that bad. Have you experienced anything?
Yes.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Does it make you loopy and all kinds of
Very.
So I was really... I don't know what happened, but I was really sick one time, like crazy. And I think I took 2 doses of NyQuil, but like I also like didn't fall asleep. Like for whatever reason, it was like the drowsy kind. So like I was so loopy. And like the room was spinning and I was like, nah.
Yes.
And it didn't even make me feel any better. And I was up all night feeling that way. It was crazy.
No,
It was
is.
crazy.
It's
It makes you
actually
feel
wild.
insane.
Never. I think I've taken it. I don't think I've ever had that. I've never had that happen. But
Yeah, don't.
the only time I've ever been loopy, it was really weird. I tried helium, like inhaling it to talk, and it didn't work. But the whole room started. I don't know how I didn't pass out. It was really weird. I should have like.
You just have zero tolerance for anything but oxygen and water.
Yeah, honestly.
Get
That's
crunk
pretty
off
much
of
it.
helium.
Helium
Yeah, I
messed
was
me up.
wasted. off
Guys.
helium.
Take some of this, bro.
See, it looked like I was on shrooms, but it was literally just helium.
Wow.
This
Lightweight.
is what's that?
Lightweight.
Honestly, I think that's what it is. This is from Ryan. At Youth Group, our youth pastor split us up into 3 teams for a duct tape game and asked for 1 volunteer from each. Being the idiot I was, I raised my hand. That's when each team wrapped their volunteer's head in duct tape, covering everything except a small hole for their nose.
Oh.
I couldn't see, hear, or breathe well. Out of nowhere, I was shoved to the ground and my face was mashed into the carpet.
What?
Turns out, while we were getting taped up, the youth pastor dumped candy all over the floor for the teams to collect it by sticking it to their volunteer's head.
What?
I went full ragdoll when my team
I'm
dragged
confused.
me around the room. When it was over, they finally cut me free, but I was so dizzy, I didn't know if I was going to puke or pass out. The second volunteer looked just as rough, but the third, she had it the worst. She had long hair, and it got completely tangled in the duct tape. After 10 minutes of trying to peel it off without ripping her scalp out, her team gave up and just cut a huge chunk of her hair off. She left the room
That's bad.
crying, and we never saw her again at youth group.
Yeah.
Oh.
Rightfully so. Find a new one.
Okay, question.
Yeah,
The duct tape must have been like smooth part on.
It had to have been.
It
Yeah, so
had
they
to
did
have
it
been.
so that it could stick to the candy as they're rolling around.
Okay, because I was thinking like eyebrows gone.
Well, that's
immediately,
that was my
immediately
thought
was just ripping it off. And
That's a lot.
everything's just
Yeah.
gone.
That's a lot.
too. But imagine you have long hair, one wrong move, and
Yeah.
all your hair
It's
gets
true.
stuck
Just
to the
rolls.
outside.
Oh, that's horrible.
Also, like, why the face? That's the worst.
Yeah.
You just look like a
Place.
mummy, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're
Like-
like you're trying to.
Yeah, at least like.
But
duct
why
tape
would
your
you want
body
to
and
roll
pull
around with
Yeah, at least your body. Like,
your legs?
I would
or
have taken
your
a kid's
arms?
head and would just been like smarty, 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 smarty. We would have won that jump.
Let this be a lesson.
would've won it.
Let this be a lesson. Do not volunteer for youth group games.
No,
Yeah,
and
at
who
this point, we
picked
should
these
know, right?
games? You know what?
They hate kids.
We're gonna
Yeah, that checks out.
we're gonna use duct tape.
Duct tape on the head
We're
and
gonna
just
tape
smack
it
their
around
head
your
on the
head.
candy. Put it all over the ground and just smack
Get the
their head.
candy.
Yeah, like
No.
not the hands. No.
Yeah,
Okay.
arms,
hands would've been great,
You know,
yeah.
legs.
That's what I'm
Feet.
saying. Anything but the
Torso.
face.
Okay, you know what?
barrel.
Actually, this wouldn't have worked. I was gonna say duct tape a helmet, but their hair could have still flipped up. And
I don't know. That's
That's
just
true.
a bad day. Mm-mm.
Someone is already doing the guess the denomination segment. Assemblies of God for sure.
Oh god.
Guys, we're not even on that segment yet, but we are doing that next. So, are you guys ready for this? Guess the denomination from this story from Lane. It's a shorter story, but what this means is you guys give your best guess on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook, whatever it may be. Give us your best guess as to what denomination you think would basically do this story. Like I said, short story, but Lane said someone, maybe me, decided to go off the notes mid youth group sermon to say that vaping is worse than lying. If you had to guess the denomination,
What's the most legalistic one?
I know.
vaping worse than lying.
Episcopal,
That's a good guess.
maybe.
Presbyterian? I don't.
No, I would
Lutheran?
say. What are they?
What's
Contra
the
said
M one?
Baptist.
Pentecostal of. What are they?
The Pentecostal of.
They're like the most extreme.
Calvinist?
No, that's the opposite of Pentecostal.
Well, I didn't know you were talking about Pentecostal. Yeah. Baptist, Northern Baptist. Okay. Lutheran,
What's the M one?
Mormon.
All I can
Methodist.
know. Methodist. That's what I
You
was
thinking
thinking.
Methodist? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, because they're
Southern
wait,
Baptist.
like fundamentalist? Is that a denomination? Fundamentalist?
I have lost track at this point.
My fault.
I don't know.
Sierra will let us know.
Something
ChatGPT
All
fundamental.
right, okay. What are they?
My
All right.
daughter is beating Caitlin right now.
Poor Caitlin.
I saw her hands going like.
It is not a denomination.
Okay.
What is there's like extreme holiness one that's a Pentecostal sect.
I don't know. I think we're all evangelical.
Yeah.
Assemblies of God, Southern Baptist. Queso said Southern Baptist. Apostolic are really strict.
Apostolic.
Yeah, I feel like it's
Pentecostals?
got to be something really
Maybe.
strict.
Yeah.
Pentecostal holiness. I don't think that's a denomination.
Also, I feel
It
like
is.
that's
Oh,
just.
it is a denomination? Pentecostal
There's
holiness?
a name for it though. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Any Latino Pentecostal church.
You know,
That's
that's
true.
there's a
funny.
point.
You
to
know what?
that.
You got a
It's not
point.
fully wrong.
You're not wrong.
Okay, some Pentecostals think that dancing is wrong. I think you're thinking Baptist, but I guess there are some that. But it's okay if you're some. Okay, so it could be really any denomination, but the extreme end of it, the legalistic end.
Yeah. That's just a lot. I feel like
Yes.
What is it? International Pentecostal
Yes.
Holy. Okay, that's Mindy's guess. I'm gonna go. Oh, legalist. Let's. I'm going Presbyterian.
okay.
Yep.
See, I don't know.
Or like
a lot of those types of
Baptist,
are going
Baptist.
real woke.
I'm just gonna go any of them with the pastor or preacher being over like 65.
Yeah.
That just sounds like very old. Like
That's very
vaping's gotta be
true.
worse than lying.
The Amish
Like,
church.
yeah.
We'll let that one count. We'll let Mennonite. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Mennonite definitely.
they don't do nothing. They don't. They're definitely making it in to heaven.
Mine says
They'll
it's
be
bad, and we're a Latino church or Latino AG. Okay, Beatrice. All right, so he knows firsthand experience. All right, good guesses, guys. We'll have to find out if they let us know.
Someone else said That one.
The IPHC, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I hadn't heard that before.
Yeah, they're the ones who wear like only dresses and no makeup, and they're like men wear the suits to the church, and like they're have great worship though. Yeah.
I have no clue what that was.
That's for another story. That's for
Okay, wonderful.
Are you looking it up?
Yeah.
Ooh, a throne.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Are they is this American church?
Yeah, there are
around
some,
here?
but they are like all over.
Okay. I could see it.
Mm-hmm.
I could definitely see it. Assemblies of God. Okay, yeah. All right. A lot of different guesses tonight. I think that's the most different guesses we've ever gotten. That was a good one. This is a story from Aiden. Aiden said, at youth camp, we did a relay race on a wet tarp. But after 30 minutes, my friend looked at me and asked if I smelled something weird. Upon further inspection, we noticed the water and soap on the tarp had turned light brown.
No.
Turns out someone had pooped on the tarp during the relays, but no one realized, and everyone had been stomping around in it like nothing ever happened.
Someone realized.
No.
At least one person realized.
Somebody else realized.
I'm pissed.
To this
Honestly,
day, they still don't know who did it.
Honestly, I'm pissed.
You nasty. Someone was bunking with the person who did that. They know who did it.
No one's going to notice because it smells like soap. Are you kidding me? You're just going to keep having fun?
Started all over the tarp.
Like, seriously. Do you know how much that has to be for all the soap to be light brown?
Ew.
Oh,
we use the tarp.
It's the camp food, you guys.
That's so,
The beans.
Something's happening in these camps. It's a diabolical plot.
It is always camp where we have
It
throw
is.
up or the poop.
It's
every time.
honestly.
Disgusting.
You remember the Isaiah? This is his most iconic getting mad at story, but it was with you. You both got absolutely pissed. The cream corn story.
Yes. Oh my gosh, what was it? He said like, "Oh, I didn't have time to stop the game." So I just stirred the vomit back into the corn.
They were bobbing apples in cream corn, and a kid
You took
vomited.
the time to stir it.
Why?
You didn't take the time to stop the game.
Why would
You have to go too. It's just too fast.
I'm telling you,
gotta go
these
too fast.
youth pastors, I spent everywhere.
And whoever
They hate these kids.
pooped on a whole tarp.
They hate their lives.
No, I can't believe no one noticed.
Someone
That's
knew
wild.
going down. They felt that
They did.
coming out.
And if you're on
Okay.
a tarp with soap and water, you got shorts on.
Mm-mm.
It's
Okay.
not like you could have hit it in pants.
No.
Mm-mm.
You should have just ran off into the woods.
I'm not called to
No.
this kind of ministry.
No,
I'm
that's
just
why
not.
I'm done.
Spock on TikTok said
No.
sliding on tarps is just a bad idea because they had someone get a tent peg stuck through their leg, which we
Ooh.
get those stories all that you'd be water slides, the games where like this one. There are so many stories. They step through it, stake right through their foot, through their leg. The
No.
amount of stories
No.
we've gotten. So I posted
Impaled.
one time recently on our Instagram story, and I was like, "What's your worst like youth group injury?" And we got like 1,300 DMs in 24 hours. It was insane because everyone has injuries at youth group apparently,
Every time.
and
Yeah.
Is it
so
even
many of
useful if
them.
you don't get injured?
I mentioned before, but the blob, like a blob where you jump on and launch people off,
Yes.
had a lot of injuries, like a ton of stories from that. And then also water slides with the tent stakes on the sides or like slip and slide kickball.
I believe
or
it.
this.
Yeah.
So many people. It's like, I feel
believe
like
it.
that'd be so easily avoided. Just put a cinder block on the side,
believe
right?
it.
What-
Yeah.
I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
that's much better.
A brick wall.
That's much
a
better.
brick wall.
That's crazy.
This is a story from Will. And if you guys have stories you'd like to send in, we're always looking for more. I know we get a lot, but we're always looking for new stories. You never know if your story's going to get featured, and you can send them to stories@ygcpodcast.com. This one is from Will. He said, as I was speaking at a youth group event, I started asking students what the most important thing was that they needed to get ready in the morning. After shouting out a bunch of random answers, one kid raised his hand and said, alarm. Except I have terrible hearing, and I thought I heard arm. I sarcastically repeated back to him saying, arm. That's when I heard a collective gasp. I looked at this kid again and realized that he was literally missing an arm.
Was that my husband?
Oh, yeah, probably.
What's the most important thing you need to get ready for in the morning? An arm. Okay, this kid says arm.
Wow.
That is his most important thing that he has.
I don't believe that bad hearing. I don't believe it.
I know.
I don't believe that. That's too good of a chance to be like, arm. Oops. This is too good of a chance.
The stars have aligned for this guy.
They have. It's like this one kid that was
finally roast this kid.
Yeah, he was a jerk, but no one said anything because he's missing an arm, and this was finally his moment to get him.
He's the middle schooler that has been annoying this youth pastor.
Yes.
For months.
I got him now. Arm.
I had a lot of things I was gonna say. Imagine I'm trying to clap in church. All right, sorry.
Can we get a round of applause?
Not you.
This is. Oh my gosh. You're bad.
Okay.
This is a story from Zach. Our youth group helped run concessions at the College World Series as a fundraiser. By the second week, the stadium staff put me and another recent grad in charge of the kettle corn stand. He mostly.
Sorry, can you start over? I was not paying attention.
Yes.
Thanks. I'm so sorry. I zoned out for a second.
Our youth group helped run concessions at the College World Series as a fundraiser. By the second week, the stadium staff put me and another recent graduate in charge of the kettle corn stand. He mostly handled the cooking while I ran the register, but one day he stepped away to use the restroom, and I figured I'd give it a shot. To light the kettle corn burner, you had to turn on the gas and then reach your arm into this steel box and ignite the pilot light. What I didn't know was how much gas to release. Turns out the valve was wide open. As soon as I lit it, a massive fireball exploded out.
Turns out.
And burned me across my face, my neck, my arms, and my legs. I lost my eyebrows, my eyelashes, and half the hair on my head. Later, the paramedics told me that if my mouth had been open, I could have inhaled the flames and burned my lungs from the inside out. The stadium even banned kettle corn stands from ever coming back to the College World Series because it literally blew my face off.
Jerk ruined everything.
You ruined it, Larry.
No more kettle corn.
Now, a lot of people send in proof to the show, and we don't always feature it, but this guy actually sent in a picture of the aftermath. You want to throw that too?
Oh, no.
Yeah, you guys got to glance at it there for a second.
Can you imagine him just turning around?
Just singed.
No eyebrows, no eyelashes.
It looks like he has a little bit of eyebrows still there in the middle near his nose. But from here, and you can't really see it on the camera, but his hair is singed, like super curled up in the front.
I see it. Oh.
That's a bad day.
No eyelashes, eyebrows nearly gone. No, thank you.
That is a bad day.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Got a little taste of hell, didn't you?
Yeah. This is a story from Zachary.
Lots of Zacharys.
There are a lot of Zachs. Yeah, that's back to back, actually. Zachary said, and this is actually going to be our guest finish the Chronicle segment.
Oh,
okay.
All right.
Okay.
While on a youth group trip, our pastor went to use the bathroom. After sitting down, he heard some splashing in the tub right across from him.
In the tub?
In the tub. If you had to finish the Chronicle, what do you think is about to happen?
Sorry, I need you to say this again because now I'm lost. One more time.
While on a youth group trip, our youth pastor went to use the bathroom. After sitting down, he heard something splashing in the tub right across from him while he was sitting on the toilet.
Okay, this is American. They don't call like the sink a tub.
No, this is a bathtub.
Yep. Okay, interesting.
Well, he can't see in there because there's a shower curtain.
Well, again, this sounds illegal.
Okay.
So, what's going on in the tub?
How would you finish the Chronicle? Do we need some chat help first?
Yeah, maybe.
Bridget said someone is peeing in the tub.
Splashing?
Someone's keeping a fish that they caught. Simeon said there's an animal in the tub. Someone was
But there's water in the tub because there's splashing.
Yep.
Okay.
A student was already bathing in there. There's a bunch of trout. Someone was.
There's a bunch of
I'm gonna guess salmon.
Someone's going to town in the tub. Okay.
Whoa.
There's a child taking a bath.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna say someone's taking a bath.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that someone has like full on floaties and goggles, and
Okay.
they're just
Yeah.
swimming.
Contra said the head pastor was taking a bath and he walked in. Okay. A random man was living there, Gabriel said.
Oh,
I
Maybe
mean, I definitely
maybe
don't think it was
homeless?
a bunch of trout. I'm gonna put these trout in here real quick. Okay. Yeah.
Teens practicing baptism. I love where your head is. That's so much better than
that's
some of the
pure.
concepts.
I love that.
It was a plague of frogs. My goodness. Bathsheba type story? I hope not. Homeless man? You know, none of these surprise me. If
It's
if any of these
honestly,
answers-
there's a lot of homeless on these, I feel like.
That is very true. All right. We will finish the chronicle. After sitting down, he heard something splashing in the tub right across from him. Come to find out, since we were staying at the beach, a student decided to go fishing and ended up catching a baby shark.
No.
But instead of throwing it back, he filled the youth pastor's bathtub with ocean water and let the shark loose in it.
That's crazy.
A shark.
That's better than
I never
trout.
would have guessed.
Man, that is the most middle school,
It is.
most
Julian would do
on-brand
something like
thing
that.
Yeah.
for an 8th grader I've ever heard in my life.
Very compassionate. That's
Yep.
sweet.
The most random.
That's cute.
It's true.
Are we looking at how long a baby shark is?
Baby
It'd be-
shark. What?
Not
There it
this.
is.
Oh, okay, there's one. Yo, I do think, I always think of like so they're not super big. Baby sharks are, they could be like
Yeah, I
2
mean,
feet.
like, still, that's crazy.
The dedication to fill it with salt water is next level. Though.
I don't know. I mean,
pretty
do
good.
most people? I'm kind of weird. I always check, like, if especially.
Absolutely.
I don't really, depending on what bathroom, but I don't really close my curtains either.
Like
and if
in
I'm
the
going,
tub? No, I
yeah,
haven't
and
either.
if I'm going to someone else's house, I don't know. I always have to look in.
Oh yeah, my
You don't
brain is
punch
like
it
murderer.
first?
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be
Behind the curtain.
killed while
Yeah.
I'm on the toilet.
Yeah, murderer.
So,
I'm afraid
yeah.
you
when
know?
I'm in the shower, someone's just gonna like
when you
stab me
wash
through
your
the curtain.
face, when you
Always
wash
like-
your face, I'm always like, someone's about to be like,
Our generation is
Yeah,
paranoid.
we are rightfully so.
it's all those movies.
Yeah, stupid
Rightfully
things
so.
just popping out at you.
Final Destination. No.
Me.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then you can't see through the curtain.
peeking around
can't.
the curtain.
No, that's
Yeah, it's terrible.
not for me.
No.
All right, this is a story from Christina. Christina said, when my dad preached his first sermon, he was super focused the whole time. But mid-message, he noticed the youth pastor trying not to laugh. He was preaching on standards and accidentally messed up what he was saying without realizing. So to all the students, he said, girls, your skirts need to come up and your shirts need to come down. Instead of the other way around.
Again, I just think
Your poor father-in-law catching strays tonight.
I know, it's terrible.
Also,
so.
her
We can call him
father-in-law-
right now and tell him, because he would probably agree.
I don't know if people know this, but her father-in-law's been on Youth Group Chronicles. Who remembers, I think it was like in the 20s, like episode-wise, season 2, Pastor Michael Spencer with Isaiah. That is her father-in-law. And when she brings up that he would have done it, that's exactly who
Yeah,
she's
he's
referencing.
pretty off the rails when he says stuff on the pulpit.
He does it with a straight face, too. I'll give him that.
He does.
I will give him that.
And he's dead serious.
Always. Every church
That's a
does that,
horrible
Pastor. This is from Emma. We have a couple more stories here. I got attacked by a youth girl while I was 8 months pregnant, all because I asked her to stop vaping in the bathroom.
I am throwing hands. You're catching one straight to the jaw.
To make it worse, her mom then proceeded to ignore my calls to come pick her up. And when I was finally able to talk to her mom about the incident, she blamed it on me.
No.
Narcissist
I'm fighting the mom, too.
101, baby.
I'm going to fight her and I'm going to fight the mom.
101.
Yeah.
Do not get on Mindy's bad side. That's all I have to say.
It's like,
No.
And then pregnant, I don't want to know.
like, no. Don't try to attack me.
My wife is 8 months pregnant. I can't imagine someone getting on her bad side right now. It's just worse.
She would.
It's just worse.
Yep.
Over a
is.
vape?
Over a vape.
Yeah, like,
He
come
probably
on.
said it was worse in line.
Probably the same person.
Yeah, same guy. Same story. All right, one more story. This is from Nate. Nate said, I randomly got a text from a college buddy of mine. Him and I had an inside joke about getting matching tats. So I texted back telling him we should hang out soon and get matching butt tattoos. He replied, what?
Yep.
Followed by, are you going to be at church on Wednesday night? That's when the panic set in. I realized that this wasn't my frat buddy. It was one of my youth group students who had the same name, just spelled slightly different.
First of all, that was gay.
You need to, why? Like, what are you getting? Your name?
True. That's just a fact, by the way. There's no hate in my voice. That's just a fact. That was gay. And sir, that's what you get.
It's true.
All things will come to light.
It's true.
And
now everybody knows.
Your poor youth kid. Yeah. Matching butt tattoos.
Yep. With your buddy.
Hey mom, look at the text I just got from Pastor Nate.
What money?
What?
I didn't say it. You did. I didn't say it.
What did you say? I didn't hear it. I gotta hear it. Butt buddy?
Sam! I didn't say it. You did.
We're off the rails. We're off the rails.
I didn't say it.
Woo, okay.
Harley asked, are we not double checking texts? We've all been there. Thankfully, not this bad.
Oh my
No,
goodness.
we haven't all been there.
No, we have not.
You can speak for yourself.
Beatrice said, butt tattoos with a bro ain't gay. It's homosexual. Okay? It's okay if it's your bro. It's okay if it's your bro.
That's what they all say at first. How many bros did he have?
Wow.
Just asking questions. You just got to examine these things. Just, just investigate a little bit, okay?
It's brotherly love. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. All right, guys, let's do our Would You Rather segment. This is where we take two stories from this episode and we pit them against each other. Option 1 is Aiden's story. You are having, a really fun time at youth camp in the water activity. When you look down and you notice there is brown water instead of soapy water. So you've been stomping in someone's feces for the duration of the game. No idea who it is. You never find out who. That's option 1.
The word feces is awful.
Gross.
Option 2 is you are working the kettle corn stand at the College World Series and you get a fireball to the face.
Yeah. I gotta go with the duty.
Yeah, but you're not losing fingers this time.
I know,
Just
but I'm
some
losing
hair.
face. And
Just some hair.
I don't know. I gotta go with the duty. I don't want fire in my face.
I know. I don't want
just a bald.
just gone right
Nah,
here.
I gotta stomp on some duty.
Yeah. I am right there with you. Are we going a clean sweep? Like, Mindy's really contemplating this.
I don't like that.
It's
gross.
It's diseased and
I feel like I would have to go take a bleach shower.
yeah, that's
Shower and
disgusting.
bleach sounds
Just
great.
shower and bleach.
But again,
Julio
we get to
said
beat
kettle
up the
corn.
person who.
honestly, okay, but this is the stipulation. If I'm picking that, I'm finding who did it.
You're like DNA testing.
I'm gonna
the
come
poop,
knock
like,
on your door. Let me see your shorts.
line them all
I
up.
can see you just pushing people over.
Get out of the way. Turn around.
Turn around.
Ayla said, I choose poop. Option 1 from Matthew.
Yeah.
Option 1.
Yeah,
Put a 1
I
or a 2 in
mean,
the chat, guys, so I can
That's
quickly read it.
just. I don't
Harley
want
said,
to
I'm
lose my
fighting
brows.
someone. Absolutely. Option.
Imagine.
Hey, we do have some option 2s. Dylan.
No
option
brows.
2,
No one would
Beatrice.
know how you
You
feel.
know, brow heaven.
You might be safer at staff meeting with no brows.
Honestly, I would be
No
less
one would
judgy,
be able to
I
tell how
guess.
you feel.
It's true. Just sit there like
You're like, oh, you're looking fine. I guess.
no emotions.
I guess you look fine.
Yeah.
You look like you're doing all right.
I see it's pretty split.
Ew, that was
Flat on the brain.
nasty.
Sorry.
You
Poop
dirty
on the
bird.
brain.
Yeah,
All right,
gross.
Sarah said option 1. Beatrice 2. Mindy does not play, guys. Absolutely not. Bridget
don't.
option 1. Nathan option 2. Rain, Jonathan, Alejandro all option 1. Yeah, it's pretty split. This one's much more split than the last poll we did. Much
I
more
mean,
split.
okay, but I really don't want to lose any of my hair anywhere, right?
Right.
But at the same time, like
It's a great
that
story.
man made it sound like he was like it
Gone.
was gone. He still had hair.
Yeah, and I gotta draw mine on. I don't have
half
much.
the eyebrow was.
I don't even
Yeah,
know
like-
there.
You know,
So may have not have been as
girls
bad.
can, draw it on and put some falsies on. But my problem would be if I lost my
You
hair
got a
like
perm.
here.
Yeah, it would just.
I'm just not
bald
playing with
halfway
fire.
up.
Like a whole explosion that
No,
could have singed
honestly.
your lungs. I'm not playing with
Yeah.
that.
I kind of did that when I was making eggs today. It was like clicking first. It was like
No, lighting your stove or a grill is honestly
It is
terrifying.
scary. And then-
I'm always like,
I already had passed by, so like the gas was going, but it wasn't clicking. So I'm like, you can't turn it off without it clicking. So I'm like, I knew it was coming. There's like no.
and then it's just like,
It shot out a good 6 inches from under the pan. It-
Oh my gosh,
made
that's
my hair
scary.
stand up a little bit back on the back of my neck. But
yeah.
yeah, not
No
for
fun.
me. I'm going
No
option
fun.
one. Option one all the way. Are you sticking with option one? Or What did
Yeah,
you end up with?
I
Mindy?
am. I'm.
Yeah.
I,
All
like I
right.
said, I'm
3
gonna
for
find
3
her.
again.
I'm
We're
gonna
thinking
find
alike
her or him.
Thinking alike here.
We're good.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Youth Group Chronicles. Mindy and Mackenzie, thank you. Thank you to our live chat, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Appreciate you guys being here. And we will see you all next week.